All right, in this video, we're going to talk about how to make the decision on whether to do things because you need money or you want to make more money, or you want to do things because you want to make a difference in the world, you have a mission, and you want to help people. My name is Brian Elwood. I'm an author, investor, and a coach. I achieved financial freedom about 8 years ago through real estate investing. And since then, I've been teaching and coaching other people online so that they can make a good income while making an impact in the world and have a great day-to-day lifestyle. So if you believe in things like that, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. So my backstory is coming up from, graduated college, University of Tennessee. I entered corporate America. I was really unhappy there. I stayed in healthcare, had a job there for about 3 years. And then I quit and got a job at a grocery store. And at the grocery store, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I met a real estate investing mentor, and he taught me how to flip houses. And it took me a while, but I finally figured it out and ultimately started a real estate investing business. And we flipped hundreds and hundreds of houses, bought dozens of rental properties, over a span of about 7 or 8 years. And I achieved the financial freedom part of life during that business, right? And so, my entire focus at that time was like, make as much money as possible, make as much passive income as possible so that I can then, stop trading time for dollars and go do what I loved. Once I finally did that, that was when I shifted over to coaching and teaching and helping and writing books and all the stuff that I'd kind of been putting on the back burner and wanting to do, but I didn't really think I was ready for it. I needed to make more money first. So I did shut down the flipping business, kept the rental properties, and transitioned into coaching other people on how to invest in real estate. And that was my first foray into the investing world. And so once I made that transition and I started to teach and coach and help other people, I loved it. I was like, this is awesome. I can't believe I'm getting paid to do the thing that I've always wanted to do my whole life. I remember my first client paid me like $1,500 for, I don't know what it was, 10 sessions or something. I actually met him here in person in Denver at a coffee shop. Armpits were super sweaty, and I had all this shit that I printed out. I was like really trying hard to over deliver. And I stayed for 2 hours, even though the first session was supposed to only be an hour. And it was awesome and exhilarating, and I was nervous, but I was like, I'm getting paid to do what I love. And I kind of had an epiphany at that moment. And the epiphany was like, why didn't I do this from day one? I obviously needed to make money. When I was broke getting into real estate, my mind was on money, not mission, purpose, making a difference, all that kind of stuff, or my real passions. I honestly didn't even really know what they were at that time. But when I look back and I talk to a lot of people who tell me now, like, Brian, I really want to buy rental properties like you and get passive income because, I want to do stuff like you. I want to start a coaching business, or I want to start a business that, I remember a guy said he wanted to start a YouTube channel, like to teach people how to fish, right? A little different than coaching, but not really. I guess it's kind of the same thing. And, but his thinking was like, I have to build a portfolio of rentals, get enough passive income, then I can quit my job. Then I can start the YouTube channel, teach people how to fish. And I can just tell you, having gone through the whole focusing on money, making a bunch of it, having, it's been 8 years that I've, since I've achieved financial freedom, right? And, years before that, I was already working for myself, but I hadn't really achieved a lot of financial freedom yet. But I haven't had to, answer to a boss or set an alarm clock or do anything hardly that I don't want to do for a long time. And while it is great, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, and I've gotten really spoiled, at the same time, I do, wish I could go back in time and not have been so money focused for most of my career as an entrepreneur. Because when I shifted to working with people, coaching and helping people, not only was it way more fun and more in alignment with my mission and what I really wanted to be doing in the world. But it also makes money. I think my first full-time year of coaching, I made like $90,000, right? So you can make good money doing work that makes the impact in the world that you want to make. And if you're watching this, I'm guessing it's something along the lines of coaching, teaching, creating a course, starting a YouTube channel, starting a podcast, writing a book, whatever your version of that is, sharing your message, making a difference in the world. And so, when I talk to people who are wanting to do that, but they're really blindsided by their money problem, I'm always trying to convince them to take that mission, that thing that they really want to do, and put that towards the front instead of having it be behind all of their money aspirations. Because you can kill two birds. You can actually start to do the work that you love and that you would do for the rest of your life, that you would do even if you already had $1 billion, and you can make money doing it. So it actually solves the money problem and the meaning problem, meaning that you find meaning in your work, okay? So I just believe that, life is short. None of us know how much time we have on earth, and we should be able to spend it, doing what fills us up, scratching the itch of our creativity, expressing our full potential and our full gifts to the world. Like everything that we have to give to the world should be given. And in order for that to happen, we have to start now. We have to start today and start unpacking these gifts, figuring out what they are and how we can share them with the world to make the world a better place. And so I just have talked to so many really talented, smart people who are maybe they're entrepreneurs or investors, they have jobs, and they just keep kicking this bucket down the road indefinitely. Tim Ferriss has a quote. He says, if you do not have a defined stepping out point, you always default to making more money, okay? So even if you are gonna not listen to my advice about putting your mission first today, then still, at least set a point where you're drawing a line in the sand. You say, once I make this amount of money or save this amount of money or invest this much, then I'm gonna step out and make it public, declare it, make it known to hold yourself accountable so you don't just default to making more money like Tim Ferriss says. The last thing I wanna touch on is that some of you are probably saying, Brian, you would have started teaching or coaching on day one if you could do it all over again, but you were some broke dude back then. You had never even invested in real estate. How would you coach people on real estate investing or anything else for that matter? And that's a really good question. And one of the things I work with on my clients is developing what I call an honest promise. So, really doing an honest assessment of the skills that you have today and what you can authentically sell. And if I went back in time, that version of me, and let's say I didn't know any of the stuff that I know today, then I would get really in touch with what I was passionate about, and I would learn a skill. And I would probably start with a very entry-level promise. I don't know what it would have been. I will help you build your first website or something. It could have been something really simple. A lot of the gurus that you look up to today actually got their start helping people with copywriting, writing their emails, building their funnels, like things that would seem almost below them, but it was how they got their authentic start in the marketplace. And so, yes, I definitely would have had to do something like that. If I went back in time, I would not be able to pretend to be a real estate coach or whatever if I had never done that. And so, but still, if you imagine, if I put 7 or 8 years into just making money in my overall entrepreneurial career, before I shifted to doing meaningful work, which also made me money, but then made a difference. And it's not saying I'm gonna quit, whereas I shut down the real estate business because it had no meaning other than money. How much further along would I be? I don't know. That's 7 or 8 years of consistency in a business. That's a lot that you can get done in that amount of time. And so if I could go back in time, what I would do is start the business that was, true to my heart and in alignment with my mission, which is sharing, teaching, helping other people online. And then as that business grew and made more and more money, then I would start to invest that money into properties and things to secure my financial position, versus the other way around, where it's just all about investing for almost a decade and then transitioning to working on my mission. Okay, so I hope that helps some of you. That's just my perspective on how to make this decision. Obviously, you're gonna have to come up with a logical transition plan that fits with you and where you're at, how much money you have, how many responsibilities you have, you got kids to feed or whatever. But I'm just hoping to inspire you today, maybe give you a different perspective than you currently were thinking about. My name is Brian Elwood. I'm here to help you make an income while making an impact on the world and have a great lifestyle doing it. So hit the subscribe button if you want to see future videos, and I will see you there.